Well, guys. Welcome to another episode of Senpai with Some Guy,
Gang.
where we talk about everything that's
Everything,
nerdy.
everywhere, all at once.
You could say that. You could probably say
Maybe.
that.
Mate, I don't know.
Look, I'm not a filmmaker, but if I was, I would say that. It's a pretty
Yeah.
good title for
Pretty good.
this podcast.
Yeah.
We got some big news, guys. We got some
Breaking news.
great news.
Excellent news. We've been holding it in. How many episodes have we been holding it in?
I don't know, bro,
honestly?
but my butthole has been tight for at
Very
least 3
tight.
episodes.
I've been clenching.
Yeah. 3 episodes, tight butthole.
I've been on the clench train.
Yeah.
Bit of a machine with the clenching.
It's been hard to go to the toilet afterwards.
It's very hard. Yeah, I have to. Yeah.
So today will be a releasing day. Would you like to go first, or do you
No,
which one?
you tell them, bro. You tell
Okay.
them what we're doing.
Well, we got a couple things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I get you.
One.
I get you. One.
and we'll talk about this, guys.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Me and Bales, we're heading to Japan next week.
Next week.
Literally a week away.
Well, this week.
Well, yeah, this week. Yeah, when
This
this releases, the end of this week is when we're going to Japan.
Yeah.
So, 2 things that are going to come from that, which we'll talk about. One, we're going to do a travel video series over in Japan, which should be cool.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing a podcast while we're in Japan.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions about Japan, hit us up in the comments
Let us
before we
know.
get there,
Yeah.
so we can answer them on the next
We
potty.
can figure it out.
And hopefully we've got answers, or maybe we just might be touristy and just like not care. But we won't be because we're
Yeah.
pretty in depth.
It's going to be a lot more organic, I feel.
We're pretty organic, man.
Yeah, true that.
Like if me and you were in like the shopping aisle, I think
It'd be the same, yeah.
organic aisle.
Yeah, organic, yeah.
We like discolored
Orga-
carrots. We like
Organic
the purple
foods,
carrots.
Yeah.
We're purple carrots.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we're not orange carrots.
Yeah, veggie chips.
So that's exciting. And
Hell
then
yeah.
we got something else exciting. But this is a solo. Not really.
It's not really a solo
I'm
thing.
very invested in
Yeah,
this.
there's a lot of
I'm highly invested in it.
yeah, there's a lot of outside, what would you call it? Help. There's a better word for the help though. You know,
Slavery.
slavery.
Call it what you want.
Call it what you want.
It's free.
I am. This is weird to say out
Just say
loud.
it. Just say it. Just
I
get it out.
am proposing to my partner tonight.
There we go, guys. He's out the bag.
Tonight's the night. Saturday night.
Yeah.
Because we're recording today, Saturday.
Big night.
Tonight, I will be down on one knee, asking the love of my life
Boom.
if she'll marry me.
There you go. He's got
Yeah.
a real waifu.
Ready for it.
For reals.
For reals.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you.
I will be there as well.
Yep.
And I will film it.
That's not coming up.
It's not coming
You guys
up for
aren't seeing it.
You guys aren't seeing it. It's a personal
It's
video.
a personal video.
Just like the ones I make at night.
Yep.
Only for myself.
For the bank.
For the bank.
For the Shark
And maybe
Bank tank.
sometimes I send it to Bailey and Joseph.
Yep. Shark
But
Bank tank.
You guys will never see those videos. So guys, congratulate him in the comments. If you listen to this, big achievement.
And
big
honestly,
thing.
like, if she says no, you won't be seeing this.
You won't be seeing this. We will make a whole different podcast.
Well, that's fine.
And this will be on the Patreon if you want to see it, called The Failed Engagement.
The failed engagement, yeah.
So
Why don't we do this? So you guys heard the news. The news is there.
Yep.
And breaking news, guys.
Breaking news.
Welcome to Senpai with
There
Some
we go.
Guy.
We're back again.
And today we've got some big news for you guys.
Yep.
We are going to Japan
Yep.
this week.
Yep. Boom. And that's how we'll start it.
That's how we'll start.
That's how we'll start it if that goes wrong.
If it goes wrong.
So, by that means, welcome to this this episode. Let me put the timer on, guys. No, let me point. Let me point.
Sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
Woohoo!
Okay. So we're all excited, we're pumped. So
We're so pumped. We have so much on the agenda
let's talk
for
about
our trip.
the Japan trip and where we plan to go
Yep.
and / do, and maybe some problems we've come up along the way.
Oh, fucking a plethora of problems. A plethora of problems.
Should we get to our itinerary?
Our itinerary, yeah, we can do that.
It's pretty basic.
Yeah.
We're going
But it's quite full.
it's very full. I like how
we've got a lot that we're doing.
Yeah, at the start, me and Bailey were like,
We don't care.
we were like, dude, we're just gonna go with it. We're just
Yeah.
gonna, bro, don't make plans, man.
Go there, bro down.
Bro down, bro.
Oh,
and then we realized,
also we're going with our partners.
we're going with our partners.
So we're going it's like a couples trip, couples therapy.
This is, by the way,
Not couples therapy, it's a vacation.
yeah, it's vacation.
Vacay.
Originally, I was going with Jojo, and then he's had some bigger shit come up, some badass shit come up. in a good way.
Congratulations, Joe.
Congratulations, Joe.
We're here for
Hopefully
you.
you've gone through your thing. You know what the thing is.
We know what the thing is.
And then me and Joe will go on that trip next year sometime.
Yeah.
So Balo kindly said, "Hey man, I will come with you to Japan as a couple trip." And I was like, "Yes, please."
Yeah. Immediate. It
I've
was
been itching.
immediate. Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
itching at Japan.
And it was my partner's idea,
Yeah, thank
which
you.
is
mate.
crazy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
She was keen.
our itinerary is pretty much Tokyo 5 days,
Tokyo 5 days,
and then we're going to
Kyoto 1 day.
and then we're going to Osaka 2 or 3 days.
3 days now.
3 days, and
Yep.
then we're going back to Tokyo for
1 night.
1 night.
Yep.
2 days.
2 days, 1 night. Just to, yeah. We're flying out that
Nice.
day
Yeah.
after our last night in Tokyo. We're
Yeah.
flying out. And I'm going to Korea. And some guy's coming back home.
Yeah, he's going to Korea after, so
I'm
he's
going
got a
to
bigger
Korea.
trip.
Yeah, I got a 3-week trip. 3-week little itinerary.
Some would say kind of like a honeymoon, but not really a honeymoon. It's like an engagement honeymoon.
Engage moon.
Engagement.
Yeah.
Agoom.
Egoom.
Agoom.
That's a good one.
Agoom.
A little bit of an egoom going on. Edoom.
Oh my god, bro! My hair. If you can see this, it's shocking. I got a haircut,
That's alright. That's alright.
and like I'm like, you know that scene in Dragon Ball Evolution where Goku's trying to like gel down his hair?
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, I get that.
I watched that movie, and I was like, even though it's a bad movie, it's a horrible movie, but
Yeah.
it's me.
It's because they do very uniform cuts now. Like it's all
Yeah.
same length, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas like
Doesn't
back in the
work.
day when we were doing like haircuts, a lot of the time they were doing like
Layer that shit.
layer to the side that you push it over.
Yeah.
So this side would be longer than this side, and
Yeah.
it just kind of like tucks real nice.
Yeah.
But I honestly I prefer the uniform cuts anyway.
It's clean. If you have some good
It's clean.
wax,
Yeah.
I need cement.
Tell us, what kind of
What's
wax
a
do
good
you
wax?
use? Yeah.
Because look at this shit.
Yeah. I'm going to start using like this serum that Brandon uses. It's to like, it activates your curls and keeps them there.
Does it work?
It works for him.
I
Like
have
he
no
looks
curls. Will it activate curls that don't exist?
great. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe like Brandon
you'll,
Breen
you'll,
tonight.
yeah, you might need a perm. You might need to hit him with the AK,
I don't know if I can
You
do
know
the
what I
perm, bro.
the AMK,
I don't know
the
if I can
Muhammad.
risk a perm.
Yeah,
Nah, it's too much for me, bro. Can
Yeah,
you imagine me with curly hair? I look funny.
it'd be hilarious.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I'd like it.
So yeah, our Tokyo trip, we try let's go past problem, okay? So as we said,
We had problems.
we were like,
Plethora.
okay, we're not gonna plan.
Yeah.
Dude, we're going with the flow here.
Yeah, we were all very much with the flow.
And then
And then we just it's just like when one thing pops up that you want to do, it kind of just like
Yeah.
it's like there's a little hole in the dam, you know what I mean? And then like that first idea breaks the hole, and then what happens? The dam falls,
falls.
the water comes,
And then
flooding.
Yeah. Big old wet house.
Noah's Ark, you know what I mean?
I would get on that boat.
I would.
So as you know, they've got the Pokemon Cafe.
Yes.
They've got the Studio Ghibli Museum.
Yes.
What else is something that you need to?
That we missed out
Is that
on.
pretty much it? They're pretty much the big ones.
That's
right?
pretty much the big ones.
So those places you need to reserve a month out,
yeah.
and legit on the day, like me, Balo, and my wife all sat
And my
at
brother.
a computer, and his brother, waiting to be in line to get these tickets, and then he got kicked out,
Twice.
and he was the first,
yeah.
and then I think Kat got kicked out. I think Brandon got kicked out too, right?
Brandon was the first. He got kicked out. Then I got kicked
Yeah.
out. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, Kat got kicked out.
And then I got in,
Yeah.
and it was booked out.
Yeah, but you were like 17,000. You were like
Yeah.
17,000 through
Yeah.
the queue. Yeah.
And I was like, why do they keep people in the queue if like it's sold out?
Yeah,
It's
ridiculous, man.
pretty silly. And then I tried to do it on the Japanese website, but I didn't have a Japanese address,
Yeah. Which sucked.
which sucked. So we can't go to the Studio Ghibli Museum. You never know. We might go there. We're going to try our luck
Yeah, we're going to try our luck.
in a Lawson.
Hit a couple Lawsons.
And then the Pokemon Cafe, we're going to show up anyway, and we're just going to be like, cancellations.
Let's just pop in.
Pop in.
Pop in at opening time. And if we don't get it, we don't get it. We
Yep.
move on for the
We
rest of
move
the
on.
day. If
It's
we
not-
get it,
yeah.
excellent.
It's not like it's the only thing to do in Japan.
Yeah,
Wait.
it's like it's going to be like 40 minutes out of our way. Not like to travel
Yeah.
there, just like 40 minutes of our day waiting to
Yep.
see if there's cancellations. Totally cool if there's not.
Yep. Every day will probably end up with us in a bar in Golden Guy
Or a 7-Eleven.
or a
I'm
7-Eleven.
just-
For some
I'm
reason,
super
Balo
keen.
has this dream
Yeah,
of getting drunk in front of a 7-Eleven.
who wouldn't?
I don't. Yeah. So, as a best friend,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be there with you.
right on.
I'm gonna support you in your 7-Eleven drinking.
Gang, gang. I'm super keen, man. I just want a big bottle of sake.
Yeah.
Drown that shit down my throat.
I'm gonna try.
Hot, frothy.
I'm gonna try one of those
ejaculate.
crazy ass solo drink. What's it called?
Hard solo.
Zero.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
do you know how they're,
yeah,
like,
yeah, brought
crazy
that up.
over there?
Yeah, yeah.
They're
It's
like,
like
yeah.
14% or some
Yeah,
shit.
because we've got them in Australia, but they're not as
They're
obviously.
not. Yeah.
Australia has bigger rules on alcohol limit on like each can.
Because
And I
we're
think,
piss
yeah.
heads.
We're bad at it.
Australians are alcoholics.
We're bad at it.
And it's definitely a part of the culture.
Have you heard? Apparently, that's why our accent is the way it is.
Why? Because we're alcoholics.
Yeah.
True.
Apparently, that's where the slang came from because at the start they drank so much
They're
that
just slurring.
they just learned the English went around this, mate.
Fucking hell.
I don't know if that's true. That's just a little thing I heard.
I mean, that's
Maybe
pretty
some
cool if
fact
it
checkers
is.
out
That's
there.
just, yeah, that's fucking,
It explains a lot.
yeah, it explains a lot.
Because, I was talking to Balo
man, don't
before
even.
this started, and I was like, man, I mumble, and I'm sorry. Because I have to watch the AI try and caption our videos, and I'm like, oh, you poor thing. It will, like, just say something random.
understand?
Yeah.
Do
It's-
you understand?
It's like, bro, I have to go through this whole thing and try and redo it sometimes because it's that bad.
Oh, shit.
Like, when we say Jujutsu Kaisen,
Yeah.
it'll just, like,
Dibba-doobly.
it doesn't know what the
Yeah.
fuck we're saying. I'm like, okay.
Kaiser.
It just doesn't.
Mm.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about some things that we are actually doing. Like, yeah,
let's
we
go.
missed out on some stuff.
That's two
fine.
things.
2 things out of our 2 weeks there. Is it 2 weeks or is it? It's like
It's
12
2
days.
weeks.
We're there for 12 days.
It's 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on the list so far, what we have planned already is Disney Sea.
Yep.
We sorted that out.
Should be cool. Should
Excellent.
be vibe.
Universal.
Universal Studios. I'm so pumped
Mm.
for Universal Studios. More than Disney Sea.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that's my vibe, man.
That's your
Universal
life.
Studios what? Got anime. It's got Mario. It's got fucking
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. It's got Jurassic Park. It's got all the shit I personally like is
Yeah.
at Universal.
Harry
so I'm
Potter.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Forgot Harry Potter,
Dude,
bro.
Harry Potter.
Dude, I've been
So keen.
on a Harry Potter like
Are
tear.
you excited to go to Ollivander's?
Bro, I can't tell you how excited I am to go to Ollivander's.
Hell yeah.
I'm literally this week, I'm just trying to finish the first movie because I watch it before bed.
Yeah.
So I just keep going to where I...
Yeah, we
fell
fell
asleep.
asleep. Yeah.
And I'm listening to the Harry Potter audiobook with Stephen Fry as the...
Rad.
And man,
Yeah.
so good, man.
It's so good, man. My partner did, I think it was like a year and a half ago now, or a
Mm.
year ago. She went through like a full tear of
Mm.
like listening to the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
And it really opened up like a proper appreciation and love for Harry Potter.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Mm.
Talk about that another time once I finish the book.
Yeah.
Do a comparison video about them from the movies to the books.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I'm super keen, dude. Super keen to get a wand.
Yep.
I'm thinking about getting a cloak, but I saw they have these sick ass like crew necks.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm not even going to take my cloak. I'm just going to
Buy a new one.
No, I'm just going to try get some sort of Hufflepuff
Yeah,
merch.
I saw they had these mad like Gryffindor, Slytherin like crew necks, but kind of in like the college font,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Yeah, I want to
That's
buy one
kinda
of those.
sick.
Yeah.
that's kind of sick.
Yeah.
So I'll probably tee that up. So yeah, I'm super keen for that. Disney Sea looks good though,
Disney Sea looks fun.
and apparently it's based more on adults.
Yeah.
For adults than kids. So we shall see.
Yeah.
We'll give you a hint on the potty over there if we
Yeah.
liked it or not.
Where else are we going?
We're going to the Shibuya Sky Tower.
Oh,
We're going to where else are we going? That's planned.
Oh, you booked it this week.
Oh, we're going to Harry Potter Cafe in Akasaka,
Hell yeah.
which is, I think it's official, like an official themed Harry Potter cafe that's not in the Universal Studios.
Yeah, it's
And
outside.
that was actually pretty easy to book.
That place
compared to-
was fucking sick too, dude.
Yeah,
That place looks sick.
it is in theme.
Yeah.
Like all the food, all the
Outside.
decoration. Yeah. Look like you're going into like Diagonal Alley.
Yeah.
Diagonal Alley.
Diagonally.
Diagonal Alley.
Diagonally.
Ron. Dude, I don't know how many times I've seen that meme this week.
I love it.
With those little animated
Yeah.
things. No,
You can't.
you can't. No.
He's gonna sacrifice himself.
Ron, no. So, anyway, sorry guys. I
Sorry,
had to hear that.
yeah.
But
It's good shit.
that shit is so fucking good.
Mm.
Yeah. What else are we doing? Probably go see the Gundam statue, right?
Yes, in Yokohama.
Yep.
I am such a big fan of Gundam, and
You definitely
I
are.
can't pass it up. You know, I just can't pass up seeing it. It closes next March.
It's a life-size.
Life
Life
size.
size.
Yeah, it
Well, I
is
guess
life
life-size,
size.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
life-size
life-size.
Gundam
Yep.
in the middle of Tokyo somewhere that moves as well.
Yeah.
You got to go see that. So
Oh,
we're going to
yeah.
go see that.
The Ramen Museum is also in Yokohama.
Oh, sweet. Well, then
so we can
go.
we can get a feed.
going to the Ramen Museum,
We're going to the Ramen Museum.
which I wasn't keen for at first, and then Bailey showed me, and I was like, this is actually awesome the way it looks.
Yeah, it's just like you don't have to be there for long. You
No,
just
just
go there,
try
get
the
a
noodles.
feed. It's just like,
Yeah.
but the atmosphere is fucking sick. It feels like you're in Edo, Japan,
Yeah.
catching a ramen.
Yeah. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
And then we are going to Osaka, and then I think we're just going to vibe.
The rest of the days we're gonna just do a lot of vibing and shopping.
Yeah.
Like we're going to Akihabara.
Yep.
For,
Oh, dude.
you know, the second hand.
Which that's probably going to be a video
Technology.
on that.
Yeah.
Little thing. I'm hoping to do a video on
Nakano
that.
Broadway. You know.
Yep.
That's what we're gonna hit.
Yep.
Apparently the Sega Arcade is sick.
Yeah, it's not called that anymore.
Nah.
I don't know what it's
But
called.
it's like, yeah, that place there.
we're
in
definitely
Akihabara,
going.
Yeah.
We're definitely going, dude.
We're
Claw machine.
going to Harajuku
Yep.
for clothes.
Fashion.
Probably do that in the first couple days, I
Yeah.
think. So our first 2 days are kind of just like,
Getting there.
we're not doing anything.
Yep.
We haven't got any plans for the first couple days in Japan, so I think doing a bit of clothes shopping initially would be fun.
I need to get clothes because I need new clothes.
Right on.
Yeah.
Uniqlo's sick over there.
Yeah. I need to get new clothes.
Yeah.
I've been on a diet for about nearly 2 months now.
Yeah.
Of protein. So when I go over to Japan, it's going to be like, I'll get to enjoy myself.
Hell
thoroughly.
yeah.
Thoroughly get to enjoy myself.
Yeah, I watched a video the other day, and it was like, this girl was saying that her favorite part about vacations is that money isn't a problem
No, it's not.
in your vacation. Like, you want to get 2 meals?
Get to
Do it.
Yeah, do it.
You've been slaving away at work, saving for this trip.
It's like a
Enjoy yourself.
It's like a continuous drinking night.
Yeah.
When you're drinking and you're like, this won't affect me now, but in the morning,
Yeah.
I'm going to feel it and I'll deal
Yeah.
with it then. It's like that, but for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm just going to deal with this when I get back.
Literally.
But the memories you make on that one drinking night last forever, guys.
Straight up. Exceptional.
And maybe the damage you do to your body. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to skip that.
Skip that.
Woo, put it down there. Terms and conditions.
Keep it down.
We just wanted positive vibes.
Posy.
Positive vibes keeps
Positive vibes,
the dream
dude.
alive.
Right on.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to Kyoto. We're going to be staying in a traditional machita.
Yeah.
To town. So that's a traditional Japanese townhouse.
Tatami.
But it has been, this one has been refurbished. You've probably seen that.
They've
there's
got a whole
videos-
village. They've got a whole village.
Yeah, they've got a video online of the place.
Yeah.
That was pretty much our priciest
It's definitely our priciest.
stay. But, I mean, it's pretty nice. Like, it's got its own private onsen bath outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be really nice experience to
Excited.
Kyoto. Walk around, get the traditional vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Been thinking about doing the deer.
the Nara thing? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
well,
were, but that's kind of like while we're there basis kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
if we're feeling it one day, we're going to
do
go.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
me and Kat, we're gonna go to. You guys are welcome to come if you want.
Yeah.
But our second day in Osaka or third?
Third, because our second day in Osaka is Universal.
Yeah, so our third day, we're gonna do a trip to Hiroshima.
Right on.
And we're gonna go see like the floating torii gates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They have deer there.
Sick.
Where the torii gates are. So we're pretty keen on that because I love a little bit of history. I'm a bit of a history buff.
Yeah, same.
I like it. I like being in areas
I love history.
where like stuff's happen, like the Colosseum. I don't know. I like standing in places where I'm like, whoa, a lot of history's happened here.
Yeah,
a lot
like
of things. You feel the energy.
100 years ago.
Yeah. Some people standing in the same spot. I love that kind of stuff. So
Sick.
maybe I'm just too deep, guys.
Nah, man, never.
But I like it.
Likes it. I likes it a lot.
I likes it a lot.
Yeah. And my partner's sister's going to be there
Yes.
same time. So
Nads.
there's a lot of days that we're like linking up. So
Does Nads listen?
she tunes into a few episodes here and there.
It's not good enough.
Yeah.
By the end of that trip, she's going to be a full-flown
Senpai with some guy.
Senkai. I don't know what we're going to call fans of this thing, but guys.
Swiska. Swiska.
A Swiss. That's the.
That sounds like swastika.
Yeah, that sounds too close to that.
Ridiculous.
We're not going to do that, guys. Don't stop calling yourself that, please.
SWSG.
Yep. Swags.
Swag. Even swags.
Swags.
Yeah. Cringe.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, we did that to you. I nearly vomited, actually. I just nearly made myself vomit from that.
That's all right. Dry reach.
I hit that reflex.
You want some water?
Oh, thanks, dude. Can you open a window too? Crack a window open on this beer. Oh,
I'm right in front of the camera. That's fine.
it's hot. Don't worry about it. Guys,
That's the cup, yeah?
it's kind of behind the scenes. Oh, check it out. If you want that shirt, hit us up. I'll pre-order some. Pre-order some shirts for you.
Just for you guys at home.
All right. So, yeah. What were we talking about then? Oh, yeah, Nads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about her. Hit her up. She's got a streaming channel.
Yeah, Mugaro Blanc.
Hit it up.
I'll send the link. We can put the link in the comments so
Yeah.
you can watch her. She's pretty
She does
pretty funny. She's honestly quite hilarious watching her on stream.
She does,
I enjoy it.
VTubing.
VTubing, yeah, she's a VTuber.
So hit her up.
Yeah.
Give some love. Like give us some love.
Yeah.
And maybe we can get her on one time. That'd be interesting
Hell yeah.
if she wants to. She might
Man,
not.
yeah.
She's a VTuber, so
She's a VTuber. She wants to keep it under wraps.
so we'd have to be. Might take a lot of technical stuff to do that. So
Yeah.
probably not going to happen, guys.
Yeah, sorry.
But we might stream. Go
Yeah.
stream.
You can watch the stream.
But she's coming. She's gonna meet us about quarter.
Like
Pretty
3
much at the
days in.
start. Yeah, pretty much at the start of the trip.
Yeah, her and Danny Boy.
Danny boy.
My man's Danny. He's quite excited too.
I'm sure
He's excited to hit up the muscle cafes with the big juicy Japanese
They're
boys.
not even that juicy, but
Yeah.
they're lean.
It's because they're oiled up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who doesn't like a bit
That
of oiled
oil,
up?
You don't, who doesn't mind a bit of oiled up
Alright.
muscles?
Get out the olive oil. That's
Yeah.
what I say.
Oil that man up. Get some
olive oil.
Moroccan oil.
Oh yeah. Woo!
Yeah. Woo! Smell good, look good, taste good. You know what
It's
I mean?
gonna be a time. I hope they have good drinks.
Yeah.
Or food.
Fuck. Yeah.
That's all I care about.
I'm excited to pack on a few pounds. You know what I mean? Like
I'm gonna arm wrestle
I
them.
want to pack on a few pounds, bro.
I don't know if that's possible for you, bro.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't think that's possible, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll do a poll.
It's in the cards.
Did Bailey pack
if
on
I
a few
draw the
pounds?
cards, who knows?
Yeah, it's like
If I
Uno.
don't, I don't know. It's kind of like a destiny draw.
It's a wild card.
Wild card.
You definitely you can
It's a
choose which
wild- It's a
color.
wild card.
Yeah, I think we will pack on a couple pounds
Yeah.
over there.
Gang, gang.
Maybe mostly from the drinking.
Yeah. Fucking oath.
I mean, what is it? I'm really keen to try a highball.
Yeah.
I haven't tried one, and it looks like my cup of tea
Yeah.
or my cup of whiskey.
Cup of whiskey.
Loving it.
There's a few drinks that I want to try that it's kind of just like,
Just in Japan.
no, just in general, but
Oh,
like
okay.
I've kind of just not had.
Reason to.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like being on a trip, I'm definitely gonna try it. Like I want to try old fashioned. You know what I mean?
Is an old fashioned just like ice and?
Yeah, it's got like honey and lemon zest and shit like that.
Oh,
Yeah, like
Okay,
yeah.
I'll try that. I don't think I've tried that.
Old fashioned.
I'm a basic kind of guy, man. I like my beer.
Yeah, I'm pretty basic too. Like, I only just came around to drinking beer in the last 2-3 years. Yeah.
I love that. Used to hate beer, and now you
Yeah.
like beer, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah. I like beer in moderation.
In moderation. You
If
can't have too much.
if I have to drink, I don't know, 6 cups in the span of 8 minutes,
Yes, bloated.
maybe not.
Yep.
Maybe not.
Yeah. Tac form coming up.
Yeah.
Tac form
There's
coming
no
up.
reason why I had to drink 6 cups in the
Look,
span of 8 minutes.
Do you want to know a great drink? And this may seem like girly, but it's not. It's not, okay? And they're geniuses. Vodka and like sparkling water with lime.
Oh, yeah. You
Because-
like a bit of... Because there's no calories in it.
There's no calories, so you don't get... I think you get hangover, personally, from sugar.
Yeah.
I think it's like if I drink like a CC, right, a Canadian Club, I get the worst hangovers because there's so
Weird.
much sugar in it.
I get hangovers from beer. Only beer.
Yeah, I don't really get it from...
Like, I could
Yeah.
smash back 10 pack of Jimmy's. Wake
Yeah.
up the next morning feeling fine.
Maybe it's just me, though, because I don't have much sugar.
Yeah.
But like
Maybe,
beer...
Yeah, probably.
I feel like I do a good grog bog. If you don't know what a grog bog is, it's like the poo after like the night out.
Yeah.
You know what it means. And then once
Yeah,
you do
yeah.
it, you know, you just like, oh, better now.
Yeah.
Because you get all that grease food. I'm not going to explain the details.
Yeah. You get it.
You get it.
Mm.
But grog bog and the beer is like, and it's out. Just
Yeah.
bacon bread.
Bacon bread.
Just bacon bread
Oh
and then
my
getting
God.
it out the oven. you
Yeah,
know?
up in the morning, 4:30 in the
All that
morning.
yeast.
Full blown sweats. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, it's gonna be a banger.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else? Not until we get there.
I feel like cigarettes is another thing for me that gives me a big headache. If I smoke too much, yeah,
I don't smoke.
fucks
So.
me up. Yeah.
Why do people do it when I find, people when they're drunk, like social smokers come out?
Yeah.
Like, is that because they get more drunk, or is that just because of a...
I think it's like it's can be a mix of two things. Like, you could have just always done it, and the taste of alcohol just makes you feel like a cigarette.
Oh, it's like a
And
trigger.
then
Okay.
it could also just be the vibes.
Could be
Like,
vibes.
you could be in the ciggy area with your mates, and then the vibes are there, and you're like, okay, give it to me.
Yep.
Yeah. You know who you are.
Social smokers.
You know who you are.
You just...
Who I'm
if you're-
personally talking about. You know who you are.
If you're a social smoker, before you go to a party, just buy a pack of ciggies.
yeah,
then just...
he
and then-
did. He did.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Good lad.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Then you can do what the hell you want, dude.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of social smokers that don't bring their own ciggies.
Yeah, and just bum
Yeah.
off people the whole night. But they don't smoke one. They smoke like...
They smoke like a whole pack.
And a whole pack of cigarettes is like, what, $48?
Yeah, about $50 these days.
Ooh. So it's not economical to smoke.
Unless you go to the Voldemort stores, where it's $20 a pack.
Oh, Voldemort.
Voldemort
Stores.
The stores we must not name.
We must not name,
because it
but
is illegal what they are doing.
it is legal. But you let it go.
This is fine.
You let it be. You let it. It
Level
happens,
2.
brother. It happens.
Level 2.
Yeah. So our next potty will be in Japan,
JP, baby.
in an apartment, maybe. Or at a. I think that's the best.
We could
place
be
to
at a
do it.
park. I don't
We
know.
could be at a park. That could be cool.
anywhere, yeah.
So we'll do a podcast in Japan, and you guys hopefully
Could be sitting out front of 7-Eleven.
could be in front of 7-Eleven getting drunk. You can give us some questions,
Yeah.
and we'll try and answer them the best to our abilities.
I'm going to put my ACC and BSB down
Don't do that.
in the comments.
Don't do that.
Send me the money
For what?
for Japan.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
guys,
buy you, like, if you guys want something, send me the money.
No.
I'll buy it for you.
I'm not buying you anything.
I'll buy it for you.
I'll buy. Yeah.
Oh shit! I winked with that.
You did
outside
wink with-
eye.
yeah,
Fuck.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I was lying. Sorry, I was just
Lying.
going to steal your money.
Yeah. So
She's gonna run away.
Don't send him money.
Yep.
Okay.
Dr. Evil.
We're going to talk about
One Piece.
One Piece season 2, but maybe we should leave it to another episode.
Yeah, when we get some more information, I guess.
Yeah, we'll wait for a little bit more information on it. But yeah, we're keen to do an episode purely on season 2, what we expect, and maybe some news that's come out about it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So yeah, this episode can just be about our Japan trip going forward.
Yeah.
And then the next one will be about us in Japan.
Yeah.
and our experiences and what you should maybe take if we've missed something
Yeah.
or order or do.
Yeah. Because we watch, like, no knock. I'm not trying to put you guys
No
down.
knocking, bro.
But we watch quite a few travel vlogs. We've watched quite a few travel vloggers.
Have I watched
and they,
all of them?
A lot of the
Probably.
time, they just do things that you don't really give a shit about.
Yeah, you've seen it a million times.
So we're just going to tell you what we, pretty
Think you
much the essentials of what we are doing and what we found. We're not trying to go all the way around the roundabout.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not going to
Yeah.
we're not doing a capsule hotel video. It's been done. It's been done, guys.
Been done.
There's not much more on it.
No.
And me and Bailey really like aircon.
Fucking oath.
Love aircon.
And cuddles.
And cuddles. Oh, yeah, because you have to keep separate for a couple. Doesn't work for us.
Doesn't work for us. Doesn't work for me. Definitely.
Yeah. So we'll give you that. Next week, send in some comments, messages, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And then we'll hopefully have some messages.
Hell
And then
yeah.
we'll do that for when we're in Japan.
Oh, I'm so keen, dude. Like,
And that will be like a week.
I'm buying like Game Boy games
Bro,
to play on my Game Boy.
I'm not going to tell them what I'm going to get yet. You have to stay tuned.
Japanese Game Boy games on.
Stay tuned. We'll probably do a video after we get back
Yeah.
of what we got.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah?
I can just bring it all.
I'll do a haul video of what we got
a
from
whole video.
Akihabara
Yeah.
or anywhere.
Yeah.
And then that might be a little cool video. And then we'll maybe do a vlog about buying it.
Should do like a little fun thing, like I don't know.
Competition?
Yeah, and like we go into a store, we have like 5,000 yen.
Got to get something. Got to get as many things
Got to get as
possible.
many things, or
Okay.
like things that are cool.
Okay,
You know,
let's do
see
that.
what you can get for 5,000 yen inside the store.
I'll put a
It's just
Post.
$50. It's $50.
I'll put a post up on a post. I'll put a post up on Instagram.
Yeah.
Put in your recommendations for the challenge.
Yeah.
In the money, what we have to get. That could be fun.
Yeah.
And then we'll put that in the video.
Oh,
video.
that'd be cool, like a fucking treasure hunt. You
That
mean
treasure
like
hunt.
a treasure
Yeah,
hunt?
we'll do a treasure
Dude,
hunt.
Fuck, man.
We'll do a treasure hunt on
in Nakano Broadway. So
Yep.
that's the only place we'll go.
Yep.
And we'll do it that day. Just figure out, like, have a list
Yep.
of things that we all have to get. Boom, we go.
Yep.
2 teams.
2 teams, 2
teams.
cocks. That's it.
Docking.
Docking. No shit. Get cancelled now. Nah, docking's fine. Actually, if you don't judge people, man.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
That's what. You
I'm
should
not
cancel.
one to judge people's kinks.
I'm not one to judge.
I never will be.
And like a bit of docking,
I'm not a kink shamer.
not a kink shamer.
I'm not a kink shamer.
If there's a kink in the hose, just leave it.
That's, yeah.
Don't use the hose. Just
Don't
walk
use
away
it.
from
Walk
it.
away.
Just walk away from it. You can unkink it, but is that hose gonna be happy
No.
without this kink?
You're
I don't
shaming
know.
it.
So just leave the hose.
Don't shame the hose.
Don't be a hose.
I don't shame hose.
I don't shame hose either.
Do you see the hose?
If
It's got water in it.
If I see hose, all I see is something trying to do its job.
Yep. Trying to wet the grass.
Trying to get by.
Trying to put out the fire.
That's it.
We didn't start the fire.
No, but we're
not a kink shamer.
no.
And we don't.
And we'll end on
We
that.
don't care if hoes want their things.
Yeah.
They can have it.
We love hose.
We love hoes.
So, without further ado, Without
I do.
further ado,
I do.
that will be the end of this week's podcast of Senpai with some guy.
Send pie with some guy.
Oh my god, dude. Was that like the first thing we did?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Senpai
with some guy. Okay, anyways, bye guys. We'll see you next week in Japan.
Oyasumi.
I think it's
I think that means good night. That
I think
means
it's
good night.
Jane. I'll see you tomorrow or something. But that doesn't make sense.
Jane. I think so.
I think so. Something like that, right? What's bye? Sayonara?
Sayonara.
Sayonara. Sayonara. Sayonara.
Sayonara.
Sayonara, guys.
Sayonara.
Bye.
Bye. Finger guns.